this one I know is false. I think everyone knows that this one is just like a joke. Although I don't know why it exists, so maybe we'll find out. George Washington had wooden teeth. It turns out our nation's first president wasn't rocking a pair of wooden jumpers. He did suffer from dental problems. His dentures were composed of ivory, that's still meaningful for people. Chameleons change colors to blend in with their surroundings. Is that not true? Look at this one. Purple, green, and blue. That's pretty. Okay, so the truth is chameleons change colors to regulate their temperature or communicate with other chameleons, not to camouflage. I didn't know that. The Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4th. Let's see. The actual date on which it was signed. It wasn't signed until August 2nd of that year. It was approved on July 4th, but it wasn't signed until August 2nd. Okay. Bananas grow on trees. Yeah, that's what I thought, but let's see. They are, the plants that bananas grow on are in fact giant herbs related to lilies and orchids. Alright, so it's not a tree, it's a giant herb. Maybe it looks like a tree. Dogs sweat through their tongues. I never thought that. I know they don't sweat and they just pant, but I did not ever assume that they sweat through their tongues. Okay, so let's see. A dog's merocrine sweat glands function similarly to humans and are located on their jaw pads. They also have apocrine sweat glands, but these are located all over the body, not solely on their tongue. The reason why dogs pant is to evaporate moisture from their tongues, nasal passages, and the lining of their lungs, which does help to cool them down. Okay, I learned something new. It's safe to eat food that's been on the floor for 5 seconds or less. We all know that that is just a made-up thing. We just do that. Nobody thinks that's real. Don't adhere to the 5-second rule and take your chances with food that's fallen on the floor. When researchers left bologna and bread on a surface contaminated with salmonella, they found that a substantial amount of bacteria transferred to the food within 5 seconds. Yeah, I mean, it depends is fat.